got to
Here
be
we
all
go.
comfortable.
This is Sarah Squires bringing you behind the headlines in today's edition of WYO Today Newsroom. Today, I am so lucky to be joined in the studio by SageWest Cindy Herman and Savannah Tracy. Welcome to the show, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So I know that we have a lot to go over this morning on a very important topic, and that is heart health. So we are celebrating this month of February here. It's Heart Health Month. And Cindy, I'm wondering if you can kind of name maybe one of the ways that we're celebrating this month with SageWest.
SageWest every year does an annual Heart Health Month celebration with our cardiac rehab patients. So this year it will be February 13th at 5:30 p.m. At the Lander Senior Center. And we usually have about 70 to 100 attendees come, and it's a potluck style, and it's open to anyone that's had a family member enrolled in our cardiac rehab program or a current or past member of the cardiac rehab program. And it's just a good way to come and remember everyone and keep up to date with everyone through our program.
Awesome. Definitely like kind of a little mini family reunion there, celebrating all of the hard work that folks put into the health care that goes into heart health here at SageWest and the families that are part of that too. So what a special time. Make sure to mark your calendars for February 13th, right before Valentine's Day. That's pretty fitting to celebrate the Heart Smart Potluck. It's at the Lander Senior Center at 5:30 p.m. Now, Savannah, I was hoping you could kind of go over some of the basics. We can back up here a little bit and talk about the importance of recognizing heart health here this month and why we should really be paying attention.
Yeah, of course. So heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. About 1 in 3 seconds, someone in the United States dies from some form of cardiac disease. So it's very prevalent in our community, and it's important to be aware of it and take care of ourselves so we can just live a happy and fulfilling life. There's always going to be risk factors that we can kind of pay attention to so we can make sure that we're doing what we need to, and those are going to be obesity, smoking, having like low levels of exercise, and diabetes. So if we are able to eat healthy and exercise and just be health conscious, we are able to minimize our risk of developing those heart attacks and heart diseases.
Yeah. You know, in addition to some of those kind of personal factors that we can kind of, focus on ourselves, from healthy eating to exercise and those kind of things, there's another way that we can really equip ourselves to be helpers when it comes to heart attacks and other emergencies. And I know that SageWest's got some kind of lifesaver courses coming up. Cindy, can you kind of fill us in on another way that we can celebrate Heart Health Month here by sort of equipping ourselves with the knowledge that it takes to be a lifesaver?
Yes, we are so excited to bring back our community CPR courses. So if you have that CPR card that's expired and need to get refreshed, the American Heart Association just came out with the new guidelines this year. So we will be teaching that to the community. You can sign up for this course at either campus, Lander or Riverton. Just go into the front desk, let them know that you want to sign up for one of the upcoming CPR courses. They'll get you a book and get you enrolled. It is $50 a person. I also like to remind people, if you got a kiddo that's looking at babysitting, it's a good idea to get them trained on CPR because you just never know what might happen. So having that and knowing what to do in an emergency is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we know that the number one factor, when it comes to a heart attack is the time it takes to start getting that blood flow going, getting the oxygen to your heart and your organs. And a lot of times that really means, especially around these parts where it might be a little bit of time before the ambulance can get to you, if you have one of those CPR lifesavers in your life, you are so much more likely to survive, have a better outcome. And so there are steps that we can take, as community members, as family members, to make sure that we're well equipped for that. So the CPR courses, the first one here is coming up pretty quick here on February 24th. That's a Tuesday. Each one of these runs from 6 to 9 p.m. The first one one is at SageWest in Lander. The second one's on May 26th in Riverton at SageWest. Then in August, on August 25th, we're switching back to SageWest Lander for another CPR course, and then rounded out the year on November 17th back here in Riverton. Those are from 6 to 9 p.m. If you want to figure out how to get yourself registered, pick up your coursework, your course book, you can give SageWest a call at 307-235-4684 or email Marty, the number 4, and then him at gmail.com. That is a wonderful opportunity. You know, we've talked about this a few times on the show here, and I was lucky enough, I guess, to perform CPR myself one time on a coworker. And it was really interesting to see. I know I really credit those CPR courses for helping me manage that adrenaline and know I know what to do. I don't need to waste those precious moments in an emergency doubting whether I'm certain about how to perform CPR. I was able to really dive right in there. And it was my coworker, and he survived. It was really interesting. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I really want to encourage folks to get out there. That's one way that you can not only celebrate Heart Health Month for February, but you can give yourself those tools that'll last a lifetime. Just really a wonderful way to make sure that you are able to help out when you're needed. Now, Savannah Tracy, I know you're an ultrasound technician, and sometimes people think, oh, that's kind of the pregnant mother moment, but you do a lot of work in cardiac care as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like working in your job and what you're able to do for folks?
Yeah, so as an ultrasound technologist, I always like to talk about my job and tell people that it's more than just button pushings and looking at cute babies. With cardiovascular in particular, we're able to do multiple types of exams, including echocardiograms. That is a detailed ultrasound of your heart. We look at it all the way around on the valves, and we take measurements, and it's really important, and we send those off to the cardiologist for further review, and we also perform other exams for heart health, including nuclear medicine. Kyle over in Lander likes to help us out with those, and then we also do EKGs around the hospital and other departments and make sure that everybody's heart is doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah. Cindy, I'm thinking, sometimes, it's very obvious that we need to get our heart checked out. And that's, when we're in an emergency moment or we've had some sort of cardiac event. But can you maybe speak to the importance of, checking in, making sure that you're visiting with your doctor if you have some concerns before you get to that point where it is maybe an emergency or a very serious moment in time?
Yeah. Anytime that you're not feeling right or yourself, men tend to present with the crushing chest pain, the pain down the left arm, any of that in a true heart attack situation. But a lot of times it can be increased fatigue adding up to that time before you have that heart attack. So if you are just not feeling yourself, it's always good to talk with your primary care. And if you don't have a primary care, I think it's just a great thing to do. We have a lot of providers that are willing to accept new patients. Do that yearly checkup, talk with how you're feeling, what you're doing, have that lab work done, because all of that can kind of tell us something might be going on before we have the big heart attack and find out then. So it's very good just to do those yearly check-ins. If they think you have a cardiac issue, there's tests that we can do. We can do EKGs, we can do Holter monitoring, all different things to diagnose and rule out the heart or say, hey, actually you have something going on. We need to see a cardiologist and then get a specialist involved.
Yeah, definitely. If you're just tuning in here, we're speaking with SageWest, Cindy Herman, and Savannah Tracy. We're celebrating this month, February, Heart Health Month, and there are a number of ways that you can get involved and really focus on heart health this month. Think about this. if you're able to really embrace some of the steps that you can take to stay healthy, be it improving your diet, really getting on top of exercise, taking a CPR course, this is really kind of a gift to your loved ones as well. We want our loved ones to be with us. We want them to take care of their health. And so celebrating Heart Health Month here in February is one way to give that special gift to your family and the folks in your life who you care about. One of the ways is to get CPR certified here. We've got some upcoming CPR courses. They're running quarterly at SageWest, between SageWest in Lander and Riverton. The first one is coming up this month on February 24th. That's a Tuesday. It's at the SageWest in Lander. That runs from 6 to 9 p.m. and it is at as I said, SageWest and Lander. You can register. You can find out more about it by giving organizers a call at 307-235-4684. The other dates coming up here for the rest of the year are May 26th in Riverton, August 25th in Lander, and November 17th again in Riverton. It is one wonderful way to make sure you're on top of those skills that you need to be a lifesaver when those unexpected moments arrive. And then, of course, Cindy, maybe you can one more time touch on the Heart Smart Potluck, the details for folks who want to get together and for this special kind of reunion for folks to celebrate this month.
Yes, our cardiac rehab group every year at SageWest Healthcare, we do a celebration to celebrate our current and past patients that have gone through our program. And so we invite them all back and their families back for a potluck style get together. That's going to be Friday, February 13th, 5:30 p.m., Lander Senior Center. And we usually have a pretty good turnout, and we're hopeful to have a great turnout as well again this year. It's always fun. We do little raffles and things that are donated, and it's just a lot of fun.
Definitely. I wanted to give one shout out here. Today's show is sponsored by Porter's Mountain View Supply here in Riverton. They've got quality grills built for flavor, performance, and durability. Their staff are really there to help you select the best grill for your lifestyle, for your home, regardless of what you're looking for. What sets Porter's apart is their knowledgeable, friendly service. They take the time to answer your questions. Check out Porter's Mountain View Supply at 750 East Sunset Drive here in Riverton, or give them a call at 307-856-6066. Now, I wanted to thank you ladies so much for joining me this month and really helping to kind of amp up the celebration part of Heart Health Month here in February. A lot to be thankful for in a lot of ways that we can really prepare, including the Heart Health Potluck coming up on February 13th at the Lander Senior Center at 5:30 p.m. That's for folks who have a family member who is enrolled in the cardiac health program, or current or past members and their families as well. So make sure to check that out. And also, this coming Friday, wear red this coming Friday to celebrate Heart Health Month is another way too. Thank you so much, ladies. It was wonderful.